Morgan Wallen, just in case, let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Music Review Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We got a good show for you today. We got Morgan Wallen. Now, guys, before we get into this review, thank you to Fish Audio for sponsoring this episode. Fish Audio is the best voiceover and cloning AI tool to help content creators, small businesses, and developers looking for help too. Fish Audio offers a real-time advanced multilingual speech-to-speech model API and is ranked top 2 as the most realistic audio generation in 13 different languages. Fish Audio is an affordable alternative to competitors like 11 Labs. Fun fact too, Fish Audio offers uncensored voice generation. Whether you're a content creator looking for voice generation for your podcast, or a small business looking for translation and dubbing help, or even a developer with real-time API, you could be building voice agents or just an AI companion to help you out. Guys, Fish Audio's affordability and ease of use is just unmatched here, and I highly recommend you check them out. I'm a content creator myself, and content creation is so hard. So make sure you check this out, guys. Fish Audio has all of your AI voice cloning and voice generation needs. Check out Fish Audio down below and click the link in the description or go to fish.audio. Let me say that again, guys. Check out Fish Audio down below, click the link in the description or go to fish.audio. And thank you to Fish Audio for sponsoring this podcast episode. And let's get back to the content. Guys, it has been a minute since I've talked about Morgan Wallen, and honestly, I will say, maybe I've been a little too negative on Morgan Wallen recently, so I'm gonna, step it back a little bit for this song to really give it the benefit of the doubt. Guys, we got Morgan Wallen, just in case, and if you want to know the history of, covering Morgan Wallen on this show, well, we started covering Morgan Wallen a long time ago. I mean, back in 2020, all the way back in there, and he used to be a feature on a lot of rap songs that we've been covering on this show and many shows that I've done in the past. So Morgan Wallen we've been talking about for a while, and my love for Morgan Wallen has slowly faded away because the last few singles Morgan Wallen has dropped for this album, they have not been good. They've not been good singles, but I'm here to give Just In Case a chance. Let's talk about it. Got a couple of points I want to get off my chest. Starting off with number 1. Let's talk about this beat. This is an interesting country pop beat. This is an interesting country instrumental. I looked at these comments and they were saying, call it country, call it pop, call it what you want. And I kind of listened to the song and I go, why are we saying this? Why are we saying call it what you want? I think this is the simple pop country beat. I mean, that is pretty much it. The guitar is very faded in the back. The pop beat that you hear are coming from the drums. We don't have those trap beat elements that Morgan Wallen used to have with his music. You don't have that anymore. So you just have this kind of hi-hat, this kind of clap in here that's, trying to be the beat, trying to, deliver that kind of beat sensation here. And I would say it doesn't really fall that, it's not that good. I'll be real. I'll just be real. I mean, the beat is not that good, and I don't like how the guitar in the country instrumental, which this song is supposed to be a country song, but the country elements are so faded in the back that you can barely even hear them. You can just hear, the pop elements, and it just makes me go, why are we still just releasing country music that sounds like this, that doesn't sound like it has any soul to it? And this instrumental definitely has no fucking soul to it. So I don't really like this instrumental that much. But, not everything is the beat. Not everything is, the instrumental about the song. So, what's my next point? Well, my next point is Morgan Wallen coming in on the beginning with the first verse. I'm gonna be real. I didn't really like this first verse. The vocals, for some reason, just feel like they're trying to catch up. And, that's kind of weird to say for a Morgan Wallen song. I never knew I would have to say Morgan Wallen is, trying to catch up on his own song. I just feel like this instrumental is going a little too quick for him. It feels like he's trying to sing on a beat, on an instrumental that has no flow to it, that has nothing really to it. And you can really fucking hear it, with that first verse. So, I mean, I don't really like the first verse, but I will say this, when we get into the hook, I will say the hook is pretty deep. A pretty decent hook. It's one of those hooks that I like because the flow switches with the hook. You have a slight Morgan Wallen flow switch, and Morgan Wallen has been known to be able to hit these flows when he's singing, to be able to flow on this beat or flow on that beat. That's why it's just been boggling my mind recently, absolutely insane recently, that, Morgan Wallen's music has not been hitting. I mean, I don't know why this man is, degrading his own sound, but, I guess if you want to degrade your own sound, but you can really hear that in this instrumental. For one, the drums, or the drums, I'm using that very, very sparingly. There's barely any fucking drums on here. I mean, I would rather, I would rather, do anything else. I would rather eat a chocolate pie that could give me type 2 diabetes, that could actually kill me. I would rather eat that than consume this fucking soulless, lifeless beat. I mean, holy shit. And then it gets even worse. It does, because that first verse just has absolutely nothing to it. That flow, there's not that flow switch on the first verse. There's not that fun, energy on the hook. There's not any good singing on the hook. The first verse doesn't have any of this, doesn't have any of those elements. It feels like the auto-tune on Morgan Wallen's vocals on the first verse are fucking slipping. They're fucking falling down. They're going down a fucking slip and slide. I mean, holy shit. But I will say, the hook is pretty good. I like the hook because just in case, has that flow switch. It definitely does. But that's the only thing I could say about the hook, because I like that flow switch, but he always goes back to, this same old country fucking pop hook. Why? Why can't you just switch it up just a little bit? I'm not asking for anything crazy. That slight flow switch that you hear with this song, you definitely get that with this track. You get that slight flow switch, and I enjoyed that. I like that. And then he just goes back to the boring country hook. I mean, when I tell y'all this, going back from 2020, I said that Morgan Wallen is one of the better modern country, singers, because Morgan Wallen can do things that all of these other country artists are trying to do these pop elements, trying to hit these vocals, trying to have these flows, trying to sound good on more trap and country production. I'm going to be real. Most country artists fucking suck ass at doing that. So when Morgan Wallen in 2020 was doing that on a very good level, an actual good fucking level, then we get into, this music now. 2025 Morgan Wallen, it's a downgrade. 2025 Morgan Wallen is a fucking downgrade from the old sound. How are we how do you do this? How do you go from, being one of the people that can, actually sound good on these instrumentals, actually sound good on these instrumentals? I mean, holy shit. And then the second verse. What about the second verse? It's the same as the first one. I feel like I'm just, sometimes, I feel like I'm going to lose it sometimes, because I listen to country music that shows no care. And I think just in case has absolutely no care into this song. The instrumental is lifeless. The instrumental is the most soulless fucking country shit that I've ever heard. I mean, I've heard some pretty good country songs back in the day. I mean, shit, Post Malone puts more fucking care into his songs than Morgan Wallen does these days. I mean, holy shit. It's just so disappointing. You know, you had me with the hook. You had me at the hook. I thought, okay, this hook is great. This hook is pretty good. Let's get into the second verse, and then we get into the second verse, and it's fucking nothing. Nothing. Anyways, guys, you know, when we talk about this song, when we talk about Morgan Wallen, just in case, you know, just in case, what even is that fucking title? I think the hook is alright. I think the hook has some things to it, but the instrumental is lacking. The verses are definitely fucking lacking. And those are the two main parts of a song. And when you have two main parts of a song that is absolutely lacking, that is on the fucking graveyard, that is trying to grasp for fucking air, I mean, I'm not asking for much here. I'm asking for a decent fucking country song. And you can't even get that with Morgan Wallen's new fucking music. This shit's ass. I would rather die than listen to this. I'm going to give this song, I don't know, like a 5, 4. You know, it's better than the other song that I reviewed. I don't even remember what that shit was called. So I'm going to give this song a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. What'd y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.